Hey brewers, you may recall that in this video Andy made his Cold IPA and I was really impressed with it. I think it went really well. But I've decided I'm going to have a go myself and I'm going to make a few tweaks to see if I can make it even better. If you want to know how it turns out, if you want to know how you can make a better Cold IPA at home, stay tuned. So we've got a very simple grain bill for this brew. 5 kilos of Barrett Burst and Border malt and 1 kilo of white caster sugar or sucrose. I'm mashing this in at 50 degrees at the moment, 50 degrees Celsius, because I want to do a protein rest. Now that I've got the grain in, the grist in, mashing, I'm going to start ramping that up slowly as we move up to almost like a pseudo step mash. The reason I'm doing this is I want a really clear beer with good head retention. So you may be able to see that the wort is still kind of cloudy. There's a lot of flour, a lot of starch still being circulated there. And that's because I don't think you get much conversion in that protein rest area. It's really about getting that protease active. What that does is it breaks down the proteins in the malt. So what does protein mean for beer? Two things. The first, smaller proteins can be foam positive, which means you get better head retention. So that's something that I'm hoping to achieve by doing this protein rest. The second thing I'm hoping to achieve is a clearer beer. You might notice that sometimes your beer looks clear and then you put it in the fridge and it gets hazy. They're called chill haze proteins. And that's part of what we're trying to do in this protein rest is break them down. So practical terms, why do a protein rest at 50 degrees Celsius? 1, for better head retention, and 2, for clearer beer. This has already got a little bit clearer, but we'll see as the mash continues, as the temperature continues to elevate. We're up at 58 degrees Celsius now. You'll see that this will become less and less starchy and clearer as it circulates. Bit of steam coming up there, but if you can see, you might notice a bit of a change here. It's not so opaque, it's not so white, and we can begin to see the grains. So we are getting some conversion of starches, which is good. Oh, and by the way, at the moment, we're 40 minutes into the mash and our gravity is 1040. So we'll see if we can eke a bit higher than that. So here we go. Minute boil, 10 grams of Pacific Jade, 50 grams of Pacific Jade with 10 minutes left in the boil. Hopefully they'll give us a nice lemony, maybe even peppery notes to the finished beer. I'm also going to add 1 kilo of caster sugar. Now you could add dextrose, probably even a better option, but this is cheap and it's in my budget, so that's what I'm going with. Just going to add to our whirlpool 50 grams of Idaho and 50 grams of Citra cryo hop pellets. Once I had transferred my wort into the fermenter and cooled it to pitching temperature, I pitched my yeast starter. Now I made this yeast starter using the low gravity starter method, which I've done in a previous video. The whole idea of this method is to create yeast that is ready to hit the ground running to produce a fast, vigorous fermentation so that you can get the best beer possible. If you're curious about this technique and the science behind it, I'll leave a link at the end of the video so that you can check that one out next. At high Krausen, that's when the yeast really starts kicking off and getting going, I added 50 grams of Mosaic and 50 grams of Riwaka cryo pellets. I'm hoping this combination will give us a good punch of citrus, stone fruit, diesel-y berry character. As soon as I thought fermentation had completed, I conducted my first VDK test to make sure I wasn't going to get any nasty, buttery surprises in the packaged beer later on. And I was really glad I did. This one was a no-go, so I gave it another couple of days in the fermenter before trying again. I have my VDK test here, the original and the heated sample, so let's try them out. On aroma, I can't smell anything buttery, diacetyl like in that. And this one smells much the same. Maybe a little bit of less aroma on that one because it hasn't been heated, creating all the volatility to come out. So let's start with the control. Whoa, that's some hop goodness. Nice mouthfeel too, but nothing untoward. I'm nervous. I think we're all right. Let's keg it. And there she is. It's a bit better. You can see me through it now. And that'll get a bit clearer as we go. So, nice looking beer, nice looking colour. The aroma really smacks you in the mouth. Pine, stone fruit, citrus, a bit of floral character, all those things that you want out of your hops. So happy with the aroma. The head retention is not as full because we've used those adjuncts. We haven't got as many head retention proteins, so we've got less head retention in the finished beer. And that's something to keep in mind whenever you add a bit of sugar to your beer. All right, let's dive in for a taste. Okay, so hops are front and center. Probably stone fruit is the biggest, then there's citrus, a little bit of pine, floral character there coming in on the back end. It is very dry in the finish and you're left with this lingering bitterness. It's quite bitter and we were shooting for that. The reason why was because we had a beer from Fath, which Andy and I really like, so we thought we'll try and replicate it and shoot for quite a bit of beer, quite dry, and I'm pretty happy with the way that's turned out. If you like dry, bitter, hoppy beers, then this one might be for you. It's got quite a dry, bitter finish, and the palate with the malt is quite minimal. Just a tiny bit of malt sweetness, and the rest is all about the hops. So if that sounds good, give this one a go. Let me know in the comments how it goes. And if you're interested in something with a bit more body, then try this recipe.